Welcome to Little Goat Campus. I'm Chris. I'm going to give the introduction to the Ibex motorhome. We'll start with the key set. So you have a key fob which operates the lock, the unlock, and also what's called pet mode, which actually is the mode to use when you're in the camper van at night. You want to lock all the doors, but you don't want to have the alarm on inside. Use this button. Just remember to turn the alarm off in the morning when you get up. Otherwise, if you open the door without turning the alarm off, I will get a text and then a telephone message from the security company letting me know the alarm's going off. Nothing to worry about. You can turn the alarm off and continue on your way. This key operates the cab, so it's the ignition key. This smaller key operates the habitation part of the van that you'll use, and most of the door panels on the outside of the van. The smaller key operates the electric bed that lowers from the roof, and the final key operates the gas barbecue lock. So we'll start with the outside doors on the van. Firstly, fuel behind this flap, as you would normally expect. Use the ignition key to undo the filler cap and fill with diesel. The van comes with a full tank of fuel. Please refill to a full tank of fuel when you return the van. The next locker uses the habitation key is for water and electrics. So you have the fresh water tank. To fill the water tank, remove this cap. When you get to the campsite, before you go to your pitch, you're best to go to the motorhome service point to fill up with water. With this, and you get this cover which prevents any overspill running into the van. Connect the hose pipe to the standpoint and fill with water. You'll be able to see when it gets near the top. When you're finished, remove the cover, put it back in its place, and connect it with that, which I'll explain in a moment. Put the cover back on and put the hose pipe in the garage. When you arrive at your pitch, the first thing you want to do is to connect your electric hookup to the electrics on the pitch. Connect this part with the flap onto the van. It goes here, and run the cable in that slot so that you can close the door. Connect the other end to the post on the hookup, just pushes in, and then leave the remainder of the cable underneath your van out the way so that people don't trip on it. When you're ready to leave the pitch, unhook the electric hookup from the post first, and then hold the blue flap and remove it. Wind it back up in a coil and place it in the garage. When you leave the pitch, go to the motorhome service point to drain the waste tank. Okay, using this spanner, you will see here with this mark there's a bar. Just turn that and that opens the pipe, and the water will go into the drain, and when it's finished, close it. Put this bolt back in place. Close this door, close the door, turn the handle, and use the habitation key to close it. Next cabinet is the gas cabinet. Just unlock with the habitation key, pull, and the clip will hold the door in place. Okay. In the Ibex you've got two 13 kilogram gas canisters, and they are connected. You need to open them when you arrive at the site by turning them anti-clockwise. Undo them both. Okay. The reason for that is that they're both connected to this automatic valve. You can see it's using this canister. When that one's empty, it will automatically switch over to this one, so that you don't have to change tanks when you're on the road. Now I'm going to explain how the gas system works on the Ibex and how to change a gas cylinder if you need to. The gas bottles are behind this door. There are two 13 kilo gas bottles. It's very unlikely in a regular holiday that you'll need to change the gas bottles, because the system works with a changeover system here, that when one bottle is empty it automatically turns over to the other bottle. So you have 26 kilos of gas before you run out, so it's normally plenty, but I'll show you how to change a bottle in case we need to. First thing to do is to turn off the bottle, and then there's on this one there's a hand valve, a hand tightening grip. So you turn that clockwise. Okay, show you. Turn it clockwise. Keep turning it till it comes loose, and you can see the hand tightener. Undo the straps and lift the bottle out. Replace it with a new bottle is simply the opposite. The new bottle will be quite heavy, so lift the bottle in place, slide it in. It's good to make sure that these straps are loose, and then hand tighten again the handle. Just make it hand tight, you don't need to over tighten it. Just tighten it as much as you can by hand, and then tighten the straps. So to tighten the straps, feed them in and back through and pull and tighten. It just stops them moving around in transit. And tighten, and that's your gas bottle changed. You open the gas bottle and you can see that the changeover valve has already gone green. That means that this bottle has gas and is feeding gas into the system. When this bottle is empty, it will automatically switch over to the second bottle. Before you leave your pitch on the campsite, turn the gas bottles off so that they're not on when you're travelling. Close the cabinet and lock the door so the gas cabinet canisters don't disappear. Next door is the garage, also opens with the habitation key. One thing to remember with the garage doors is they are alarmed. So if the van's locked, you come back to the van and you open the garage door first, the alarm will go off. You need to unlock the van first. Open the door. You can see this is a very large garage. You can get bicycles in there, no problem. It's got all of your camping equipment in there, so you have a table, 4 chairs, all the equipment you need, toolkit, spare, oil, warning triangle and vest, all those things. There are 2 doors to the garage, this one and one directly opposite on the other side of the van. Also in the garage is the awning winder and the jack. The next cabinet is the TV point. This is useful on European sites, but we don't have cable TV on UK campsites, but if you are in Europe you can use a cable TV. So gas barbecue point here uses the bigger of the small keys. Take the rubber end off, plug in the barbecue connection, which is actually on the barbecue, length of hose on the barbecue, and turn the tap on. When you're finished, pull this ring back in order to eject the connection, put the rubber stopper back on and turn the gas off, and pull the key out. This hatch is for the toilet cassette. Use the habitation key. Pair of gloves if you need them. To remove the cassette, lift the orange handle and then pull the cassette forward. The cassette's full, it's quite heavy. If you lift this handle out, you can wheel it to the service point. There'll be a chemical toilet on the campsite. Remove the end cap and then empty the chemical toilet by holding this button and pouring it into the chemical toilet disposal point. So once you've emptied the cassette, replace the cap, fill with 2 litres of water and 75 ml of the green toilet chemicals, which will keep things smelling nice. That's kept in the bathroom. Close the lid and the plate and simply slide back into place. Close the flap and lock the door. To operate the awning, you'll need the winder bar, which is in the garage. Take the winder and insert this brass section into the awning. You can change the length of this pole to make it a bit more comfortable, and simply wind out the awning. Once you're happy with the awning, you'll need to put the legs down. Remove the leg, pull the clip, releases the leg down, make sure the foot is flat, open the catch. You can then lift the awning to your desired height and then move the catch up. Now repeat on the other side and then fix the bracing bar in place. That's the outside complete. Let's go inside the motorhome. First thing to do is to operate the electronic step. There's a button just inside with a picture of steps. Just press the bottom, step comes out. When you step inside the motorhome, here you will have a guide. Every camper and motorhome has a guidebook. It tells you all the things we've covered today, plus a checklist of arriving at site and leaving site, all the things to do. Also includes the insurance policy, recovery documents and ownership of the vehicle. The first thing to do in the motorhome is turn on the power. This button turns on the power. If you're connected to the site electric, you'll get the hookup signal in the centre, which means the 2 40-volt sockets will work. If you're not hooked up on a campsite, the electrics will use the 12-volt battery, but the 2 40-volt sockets won't operate. This display shows you several things that are useful to know in the motorhome. The first is how much power you've got left on your motorhome battery. That's lit up, shows you've got full power. Also, the power of the battery that operates the cab for starting the motorhome shows you how much power you've got there. The top button shows you how much water you have. We don't have any, that's why it's not illuminated. The tank is empty. When the tank has got cold water, it will show you how much is left, useful for checking throughout your trip. This button turns on the water pump, which you'll need to have turned on to operate the sink, the shower and the kitchen sink. And this button shows you how much water waste you have. Again, we don't have any waste in this motorhome, so it's not illuminated, but that tells you your levels, useful to check those throughout your stay. Once you've turned on the power and you turn on the gas canisters in the gas cupboard, you can turn on the heating and the water controls, which are here. Hold the button in until it lights up. The first thing you see is the temperature. You can turn the temperature of the heating up and down. It's a blown air heating system. You can set the temperature of the van, the water temperature that you want to display, the power source. You can have gas on its own, mix 1 which is gas and 900 watts of electricity. You can have mix 2 which is gas and 1800 watts of electricity. If you're plugged into a campsite on the hookup, then mix 2 is the one to use. You can also have just electric at 900 watts, just electric at 1800 watts, or just gas. Okay, and finally you can change the speed of the fan. That's on high. You can have it on eco or high. Okay, that's the heating system, and turn it off when you leave. When you leave the campsite, turn off the heating first, then turn off the electricity and turn off the gas taps in the gas canister. Your lights. The first 2 buttons operate the illuminated strip and the door light outside. These switches operate the lights inside the motorhome. Before you can operate the television, you need to set the aerial. So it's down for travelling. To put the aerial up, we need to undo this fastener, push the aerial up, and then close the fastener. This small handle is to move the aerial around to find your signal. Usually you don't need to do much adjustment. While we're here, also in this cupboard is your fire extinguisher. Television is simply an on-off button. There's a HDMI cable to connect your devices so you could play things from your different devices. You can also tune with a button called AQT. If you press the AQT button, the TV will tune itself and bring you the channels in the region you're at. The bathroom has a separate shower and toilet. The toilet is on a swivel, so you can position it to suit. When you use the toilet, you need to open the valve to the toilet cassette, and when you finish, close it to prevent any smells coming into the van. Close the lid, so leave it open, close the lid, press the flush and close the valve. Chemicals for the van are kept in this cupboard. Okay, you have a light switch for the shower and for the mirror. You also have a 240 volt socket for hair dryers and similar. So the shower screen is fastened during transit. Just move the clip out of the way, open the door. Important thing from the inside is to make sure the shower screen stays inside the shower tray. This bedroom area has its own privacy screen. Just move the black clip out of the way, slide the door across, and you have your own bedroom. Before travel, just make sure you slide it back and it goes behind that clip. So the fridge has several settings. Turn on the power. It's better to have the fridge on automatic. Okay, it's running on gas on automatic. You can have it running on battery, or when you're hooked up on a campsite, you can have it on hookup. Okay, or gas. So it's 3 power. If you leave the door open, it will beep to let you know the door's open. Just open the door. Make sure you close it properly, and when you're finished, turn it off. The cooker has a hob and an oven stroke grill. You use the grill pan to light the hob. Turn the handle and press the igniter, and similar for the cooker, either for the grill or for the oven, depending on which direction you turn it. We do have isolation valves in the kitchen. You can isolate the cooker, the fridge or the boiler from these valves inside the van if you wish. We also provide a spirit level so you can level the van with the chocks if necessary. In this van you have several of these removable lights, so if you turn them you can move them, put them back in the track and turn them on. We also have 2 removable USB points in the van, which are these. You can remove those, use them in the lounge, kitchen or bedroom. I'm going to show you the lowering of the bed. Before that, there's two removable hatches in the floor of this motorhome. One of them stores the ladder for the electronic bed. Take the ladder out, put the hatch cover back down. Don't forget to close the clip. If you stand on that clip while it's open with no shoes on, it can be painful. So, to operate the electronic bed, the smallest key on the keyring operates the electronic bed. Put the key in and turn, it won't operate without the key. And press to lower. It will stop before it hits the headrest. Remove the key so that it can't be moved with people there. Put the ladder in place. Clip the ladder in place like such, and you can go to bed. When you finish, remove the ladder. If you have small children in the bed, there are this side and that side, there are safety nets to prevent the children from rolling out of bed. You can adjust it as well for the height of the bed. And when you've finished with the bed, keep back in, raise the bed. When you arrive at the campsite, you will want to turn the front seats. They have a swivel mechanism. You pull this lever and push, and the seat will come around. It's better to do it with the armrests up. It will allow you to have it in any position. When you finish with it, don't forget to turn it back around and clip it into its place. The driver's seat also swivels nicely into place. In order for the driver and this seat to have a table, the table extends, okay? It can be in various positions. There's a black lever to pull underneath, but it goes all the way around and fixes into place. This is a Fiat Ducato cab. It's a 6-speed gearbox. The important thing to note for most people is that the handbrake is to the right hand side, here, not in the centre. You have a onboard sat nav and reversing camera. You also have heat and light controls, central locking, USB charging points here, and USB charging points in the glove box as well. You have a fully multifunctional steering wheel, controls the telephone and volume for the hi-fi. This device is very helpful for holding iPads, telephones, those kind of things, completely adjustable. The windows all have a blind for evening. You just pull it up, comes up from the bottom, put down in the morning, and a fly screen for the daytime if you want to have the window open. The main door has a nighttime blind, also a fly screen across the whole door. So sometimes when you arrive at a campsite you find you've got an uneven pitch. It might be sloping forwards or backwards or side to side. We have a solution to that. Our vans come with a set of wheel chocks which you put in front of the wheel and drive the vehicle up onto them until the van is level. We also provide you with a small spirit level which you can use inside the van to make sure it's level. So these are the chocks. Okay, you take a chock, position a chock in front of each wheel, whether you want to raise the back or the front. Similarly on the other side, if you need to move both sides. So now that we've got our chocks in place, we can carefully drive the motorhome or camper onto the chocks. The most important thing here is safety. So please don't let anybody hold the chocks while they're driving onto them or stand in front or behind the vehicle when you're moving it. It's also important only to drive onto the chocks, so get someone to monitor them from the side, don't drive too far.